Day 52.5, part 3. So here's the thought that went through my head today. Things are gearing up to get people back to work. Open up economies. Bring this economy out of the induced coma that it's been described to be as, which I think is an oddly ironic phrase to use given the connection to COVID-19 patients coming out of comas or unconsciousness. So the economy is passed out as well. Except on purpose for us. Well, kind of. And they talk about schools too. And again, this is a conversation with my brother, who is very much got his finger on the pulse of this, because his research as an economics professor is related to education. And we were talking about how I, as an immune-compromised person, I have quite a bit of concern about I don't think I'm going anywhere until there's a vaccine. That's what we're talking about. I've talked about it before. I just don't want to risk it. And I have a lot of difficulty understanding how it would be possible to ensure physical distancing or social distancing with school children, young children. I've seen the videos of how they do it in Taiwan and South Korea. That looks hard. And all it takes is one mistake. And my kids, if they were involved with that, they come home with it. Their safety, right? I mean, there's this idea that children are not affected by this, but that's not the case. There have been children that have died. And this is just terrible thought, but this is where my brother said to me, well, at some point we have to make a choice. That there's some level of acceptable risk. I don't think I can do it. And then he tried to use the argument with me, well, but then you might be affecting your children's development if you were to keep them home for a year, 2 years. How many years? How long? Vaccine development under the most ideal conditions, like miracle level scale, would be a year. Don't kid yourself that it's not. I know this because my customers are researchers in vaccine development, and I'm connected to so many people who do medicine for a living and medical research. It's just so that was a horrible thought. In order to maintain our safety, does that mean my children's schooling will continue here? I really don't know how they're going to do it. Is that what it is? That people are going to have to make a choice between the safety of themselves or people they don't know, right, through indirect exposure? Is there just some level of acceptable level of Deaths? Is that what we're talking about again? This conversation really irked me early on. That there's this choice to be made, like, damn it. And my brother's the one that articulated this the best. He wrote an article which said that you can equate economic hardships to a loss in life expectancy. This is just a statistical fact that people will suffer if they're economically depressed. So there is a balance to be had. God. Is this a dream? That's what it feels like. How do these things become normal? That's the end of this part.